Tabletop role-playing game crowdfunding projects coming to an end this Thanksgiving weekend. Hello and welcome. Good morning. How are you? Thanks for taking a moment of your time to join me on this holiday. Bah, humbug. It's time to take a look at all the tabletop role-playing game projects that are coming to an end on the crowdfunding type thingies. If any of these stand out as worth our time or not. And right now I'm just looking at this amazing cover of a space teddy bear for a mothership product, which I have no idea what's going on, but it makes you want to look, right? So there you go. Plus it's mothership. All right, this is from Tuesday Night Games. It's called Wages of Fear. It's a source book for mothership. $50 is the most popular pledge. That gives you the PDF and the hardcover versions of the book. It is a hardcover toolkit designed to open up the universe of bounty hunting, clocking in at over 200 pages as catalogs, 10 bounty hunters, 200 NPCs from 50 worlds that you'll meet via scenarios. And what is with the bear? 200 pages of bounty hunting. I mean, that seems a lot dedicated to a very small aspect of something you might or might not be doing in a mothership game. But I guess they're trying to expand mothership past its original space wants to kill you into just sort of making it a general really decent space game. But what's with the teddy bear? I assume it's a mask that one of the bounty hunters is wearing. You know, that's his trademark. He shows up in this bounty hunter costume or her or whatever, and bear, and people are like, oh, it's a pink bear. Probably, I don't know. It's probably one of the NPCs. It's a cool cover, gets you a lot of attention. It's mothership, which is awesome, but it's $50, which seems a little pricey. Moving on from Magnum Galaxy Games. Who are these guys? They must be new. We have Awaiting the Burning Gods, a module for mothership. This is for mothership. It's $20. Shipping and handling gets you the PDF and print versions of the zine, plus a PDF of the GM screen and a map. It's a sci-fi setting toolkit to make mothership a little bit more pulpier, to make it a little bit more Indiana Jones themed. 32 pages puts you on definitely different planets where there are ruins, and you have to go explore them. And it's 3 to 5 session adventures, NPC affection. So it's an adventure, and it's trying to make mothership a little less space trying to kill you and more, hey, let's just make this sort of a fun space system. Let's take what's relatively decent sci-fi system and open it up to other doors besides simply just how many times can I retail aliens? How many times can I retail, oh, I got sucked out the airlock and I got 20 minutes to live. What am I going to do? Is this the direction we want mothership to go, to get out of its little niche and open up the doors to more niches to make it less aliens and more the expanse? To be possibly the next step in the evolution of Traveler and just give us a decent sci-fi setting for D20 type role-playing? I don't know whether that's intentional or not, but it's a good idea if it is, because for mothership to continue to evolve and be relevant, it's got to move past its teeny little niche and be more like, we're a space game. Let's play space. And there's a lot of things you can do in space besides simply die. So good luck with this idea. Hopefully it works out. We'll see. And from Silver Arm, we've got Interloper, a sandbox mystery module for mothership. Okay. Now this is getting a little weird. $28 is the most popular pledge. Gets you the PDF and print version of the book. This is a megacorp that you have to deal with. It's an adventure. It's got time limit. Somebody's been framed for murder. There's criminal elements. Murder mysteries set amongst unique locations in the mothership universe. Now we're once again taking mothership past its little niche and now trying to do like murder mysteries and just general spacey mixed space. It's very interesting that at the collective unconsciousness of the tabletop role-playing game product producers all somehow submitted products around the same time for the same game. there was nothing really a month ago to jumpstart a sudden interest in space. I mean, sure, SpaceX is happening, but that's been happening for a while. It's not like there's a sudden rush to get back into space or a sudden interest in space. Maybe it's just the idea that, there is that intrinsic hope that space travel, has to it, that we hope we go to the stars. We hope that great epic age of space adventure comes back. That's, we want Star Trek. We want hope. We want space to be filled with action and adventure and weird aliens and Star Wars, and just, we want space to be fun. Right? I mean, at one point in time, astronauts were bigger than rock stars, right? There was nothing an astronaut couldn't do back in the golden days. So maybe that's what this is. Just the collective unconsciousness, the collective need of us as a pulp, pop culture fan base to look at the doorway to space and go, things on Earth are pretty grim right now. Let's go out and try and find something cool. I don't know. Maybe I'm just feeding too much into it. Meanwhile, Rifts. Pinnacle Entertainment presents Rifts for Shadow Worlds Europa. This is once again taking Rifts and converting it to Shadowdark. I mean, not Shadowdark. Yeah. Savage Worlds. Once again, this is taking Rifts from the Palladium system and converting it to the Savage Worlds systems. This is $100 because all the Savage Worlds Rift stuff has been unbelievably expensive. It gives you the print version of the box set. It's all of Europe, but now Riftified. So every horrible, awful, wonderful, amazing, super duper deluxe stuff that has happened over on that side of the world in the Rift universe, now converted to Savage Worlds. $100 does seem pretty pricey for Rifts. But Rifts has a very large fan base, or it did at one point of time. There was a huge chunk of gaming time where people came into the hobby because of Rifts, whereas a lot of people I knew who Rifts was their first role-playing game. So there is that. $100 seems way ridiculous for a source book on Europe and all the different things that they did. So maybe it's every book that they did that was vaguely European, now all converted and now in just one giant box. The only saving grace on this is that everybody I've talked to has said that the idea of Rifts works better in the Savage World system than it did with the Palladium system. So everything that's been converted from the original Palladium Rift system to the Savage World system, it seems to work better because Savage Worlds is a very pulp system, having its origins in Deadlands, Weird West, evolving to just sort of this generic system, some of the which works really, really well, some of the which doesn't. But it does have that underlying pulp action feel to it, whether intentionally or not. And Rift sort of does feed into that whole Saturday morning cartoon pulp feel. So maybe Rift does work better in that system than it did in Palladium. But still $100, guys. Come on. Blah, 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 blah. Moving on. From Legendary Games, we got Swarms. Masses of monsters for 5e, Pathfinder, and Black Flag. So D20. This is a source book for D20. It's $25. Gets you the PDF and softcover versions of the book in the system of your choice. It's a bestiary suite, but specifically around swarms of beasts. So not just here's the stat block for a goat. Instead, it's like here's the stat block for 10,000 ants. Animated silverware, finger crushing lobsters, floofy kitten swarm, musk kitten swarm, piles of kittens, finger crushing lobsters, animated silverware, ants. So just you want the stats blocks for swarms of stuff and then different swarms. And I guess somebody just went, okay, we need swarms rules. We need rules for how swarms would work in the game, so it doesn't just become a slog of I do 1 hit point. I kill the ant. I move on to the next one. I do 1 hit point. I kill the ant. I move on to the... Yeah, you got to make swarms more exciting, or they do become a slog. So you could have just done a 1-page, 2-page thing of here's the rules for how to do swarms so they don't become a slog. But then they were like, well, we can't just do that. We got to give them swarms. Okay, here you go. Insect swarm. What else swarms? Fish. Okay, that's 2. What else? Birds? Flock of birds. Okay, could happen. A flock of birds could attack a group of adventurers. Okay, what else? I don't know. Kittens? I don't know if we need a $25 book describing one rule, but okay, good luck. I mean, it's D20 generic, so it'll work with any game you're using. So there's that. From Gallant Knight Games, we have Gavial Korg's Lords of Death and Illusions with this really cool-looking zine cover. This is Acid Science Fantasy System Neutral Supplement and Role-Playing Games. If you're familiar with games like Morkborg and Troikia, this might be a game for you. It's a system neutral, basically Troikia, Morkborg, D20. It's $15, gets you the zine. It's a GM-less TTRPG. You play a powerful sorcerer battling each other in a streamlined OSR setting. So it's you versus another player or a couple other players where you're just battling each other. And then some competition, and then the setting for this competition, stuff like that. Possibly you're like traveling circuses that arrive at the same town at the same time with a name like that. It sounds like, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, preventing Gravel Couriers, Lords of Death and Illusions. So yeah, just you guys all sit around. It's like, what do you want? Nobody wants to run, so let's just make these wizards and have them battle it out. How is that a board game or a card game? I don't know. It's a role-playing game. Whatever. It'd probably work as a good supplement for Troikia, Morkborg, D20 type stuff. So it has possibilities. Nothing's really exciting me this week. From Yellow Bite Studios, we have The Unsinkable Terrors of the Deep for 5e/D20, $54, well, 54 pounds, plus shipping and handling. Gets you the first version of the book. It's Lovecraft plus the Titanic. It's an adventure source book set in the early 1900s, which puts you and the Titanic in a campaign that will awaken Cthulhu. The book adds new rules, including a sanity ability score, options for modern convenience such as guns, automobiles, and planes, dark horror for 5e. Because, yes, exactly what 5e was designed for. Cthulhu. But not just Cthulhu, specifically early 1900s, we're all on the Titanic and Cthulhu. So it's an adventure / campaign setting / source book / once again, square peg, round hole, trying to make 5th edition something it's not. 5th edition doesn't need a sanity score because it doesn't need guns, because it doesn't need any of this, because that's not what it is. But it does, shine light on the need for a D20 system that we can use to emulate these different genres, but we have to use 5th because we know it'll get attention, and we hope that once they look at it, maybe it opens the door for them to realize there are more ways to use dice than just 5e. And then a year from now, we can make a game that's not, I don't know. I mean, it just seems like you're trying to either stamp the 5e label on anything that uses a D20 in the hopes that it attracts attention, or you're trying to force 5e to be something it's not. Neither way will work, guys, but good luck. And finally, because they are the people I get all the links to it, shout out to EN Publishing and their latest product, Hordes and Heroes. This is D&D D20 Book of Monsters. It's $55. Gets you the PDF, VTT, and print versions of the books. It's monsters, monsters, and more monsters. It's got hundreds of monsters. And remember, when in doubt, make a monster book or a Lovecraft book for your company. I've made neither, but it could still happen. Strangely enough, this is actually being told that this is decent for a 5e D20 Book of Monsters. The Kickstarter did amazingly well. Everybody who's reviewed it has nothing but good things to say about it. So if you're looking for a D20 5e adjacent monster book, you could pick up this one, or you could pick up the one from our good friends over at Stephen Glicker with Battle Zoo. Either way, here is a supposedly decent book of monsters. It's also the only thing that stands out because it's the only thing that I've heard good things about. But let's take a look once again. No, maybe. Too much money for a one-page rule. No, it's too much money. I'm excited to see this next step in the evolution of Mork Borg. $28 for this? I'd buy it for 15. $20 for this? 15, I'd buy it. $50 for this? Make it 20, I'd buy it. If I was doing Mork Borg. I love the cover. I want to know who this is. So it does its job right there. This doesn't really work. I mean, this cover doesn't really tell me anything. This looks like it's trying to almost be Star Trek, which I guess is a good thing, maybe. Or unless it's supposed to be Tharn, so maybe it's Star Wars. I love this cover. Yeah. So yeah, I guess the number one for me this week is this thing. Happy holidays, bah humbug. On the bright side, tomorrow's Black Friday. Then we got Cyber Saturday. Then we've got Small Business Sunday. And then we still have shit on the counters. Let's mark it down Monday. And then what are we going to do with all these leftover turkeys, Bob, Tuesday? So we have a lot of great tabletop role-playing game stuff on sale tomorrow and through the week. So hopefully there's some good things out there. Remember, don't take my word for it. I am a jaded Scrooge. Make up your own mind. Check these out. The links are in the description. Have a great day. I'll talk to y'all later. Happy holiday thingy.
News from the table in the rolling waves. Dice in our hand, we're the dungeon's brave. Adventures tonight with our mighty